Hi there everybody, my name's Louise Haitley and just thought I'd introduce myself. I just want to thank you for landing on my page. I hope you find it really useful. If there's anything you need any help with or you've got any questions, then please feel free to ask those questions either directly or on the post. I guess the reason and the theory behind setting up this page was to help people. So I worked in network marketing in MLM world for around about a year now, and I started really when I was 4 months pregnant with my daughter. The reason why I started in network marketing and in the industry was I already had my own successful businesses, but I was conscious of the fact that I didn't want to have to sell my time. I wanted time with my daughter to see her growing up. So I wanted to spend that valuable time when she was little by not selling my time to the clients that I had already in my other businesses. So I thought network marketing would be a really good place to get some contacts and network with people who might want to use my services in my other businesses. And it's worked really well for me so far. I help all kinds of different business owners grow their businesses online. But I just want to rewind a bit really and to let you know my story. I want to tell you where I've come from. So I started my journey around about 2 years ago now. So it'd be 3 years in March. Prior to that, I actually worked for a very large corporate firm. I am to some extent still a tax advisor because I still have clients, but I worked in a very cutthroat environment where it was very time pressured. I managed a huge team of people. I used to work very long hours, 18 hours a day. I used to travel for 3 hours just to get to and from work. It was really stressful. I used to work late. I used to work weekends. I used to work whenever I could, really. I absolutely loved the client work, but I didn't love the situation I was in. So I worked in that environment for over 10 years. And I just assumed it was me. I thought that I was the one who was the odd one out. But looking back, I realised that maybe I just wasn't conditioned by the whole corporate environment thing. And I just want to give you some insight to my story, really. I mean, I got to the stage of my corporate career that as I took on more work or as I became elevated through the ranks, I would be getting given more pressure, more stress. I would get more negativity. I would get criticised a lot to the extent that I had to raise grievances and I had to battle against people who were senior in the department that I worked for because they wanted to give me more work or they thought that it was my job to take on more at my level, when looking back now I wasn't really being paid to even take on that extra work, and that became really damaging to me as a person. So I went through the phase of really doubting who I was. I thought it was me. I thought there was no way out. And that made me really poorly. I got to the stage where I had a breakdown and I couldn't leave the house for about 6 to 8 weeks. I mean, I say 6 to 8 weeks because it was probably 2 months. It could have been longer, but I literally just curled up on the sofa for a long period of time. I wouldn't eat, I wouldn't speak to anyone, I didn't even want to carry on. I lost all zest for life. I felt like my corporate environment had just drained the energy out of me. It was soul destroying, working so hard, thinking that was the only way. I was earning really good money. But I didn't have any life. I didn't have any life in the end, and there was none of me left. If you've ever worked in a corporate environment or for somebody else where it's been damaging to your character, you'll know what I mean. You feel like you're battling. Every day's a battle. You'll be battling to just wake up in the morning. You'll be battling to get to work, to put on a brave face, to come up with ideas, to help clients with their work because that's who they expect you to be. And that all became a battle. I didn't even want to wake up in the morning. You know, lying on the sofa was so much more appealing than going into work. And that's what I did. Like I said, I just curled up on the sofa and just wanted it all to end. And it was really difficult for me to get back up again. But the way that I did it, I mean, I've suffered with anxiety for years and years and years from things that have happened in my past, but I won't go into that. And the way that I got through that personally, so if you're going through a hard time now, it was literally by having positive distractions. So it was literally by setting up my own business and working with people one-on-one and getting that feedback from people and knowing that you can actually do a good job for people. You don't have to be involved in a large corporate. You know, you can help people on a one-to-one level and you can make a difference in people's lives. I mean, I got to the stage in my corporate career where we were charging, a company I work for, we're charging a lot of money, you know, tens of thousands of pounds to do work, which in my opinion probably wasn't worth that level of money. And that became really difficult for me to ring up clients and talk about fees. It wasn't that I didn't put any value in myself. I just thought that they were being ripped off a little bit. So it was really difficult to carry on in that environment where you feel like A, you haven't got anything left to give, and B, you feel like you're ripping people off. You know, it's not what I wanted to do. So I left the business. I mean, I planned to set up my own business and then kind of plan it through slowly, and it all kind of came to a head for me, and I was blamed and criticised on a big project which wasn't my fault. And so it came to a head, and then I decided there and then that I couldn't carry on. And after I just made that decision, I went downhill again. I went back to the sofa, got really panicky about going out. I couldn't answer the door. I had anxiety attacks. It was really difficult to pull myself back together to actually find the zest for life again. And like I said, the only way I did that was by having positive distractions in my life. Positive people came into my life at the right time. So I met my partner, John, who helped me become the person I have become today, and just be myself again and know that I can make a difference in people's lives. And I guess that's what my mission is now. I've been spending a couple of months, getting involved in businesses and helping people in their MLMs and things like that. And so I decided to put something together that could help other people that might be in the same situation as me. Maybe you're at the stage where you can't wake up in the morning, maybe you're at the stage where you can't go into work. Maybe you just feel sick every Sunday evening. For me, it was from about 5 p.m. I'd start to get that sicky feeling, and I'd start shaking when I thought about going into work. But you just have to, because not earning money and not being able to pay bills has a bigger repercussion than going in and feeling that bad. That's what I felt like. I was swapping something that was painful but for something that could be even more painful, even though I couldn't foresee it. And so I want to make a massive difference to people's lives. So that's why I set myself a massive challenge. I am the person now that if I set a challenge, I'm going to go in all guns blazing. I'm not one of these people that sets a challenge and doesn't follow through with it. I like to think that I get myself wrapped up in it. I have set myself a challenge over the next 12 months to help 1,000 business owners with their social media presence. And that doesn't involve me selling them anything, recruiting them into anything. That just means that if I can help 1,000 people think about themselves differently, mindset, give themselves the confidence to do something, it's a positive distraction in their lives, and that I know will change who they are and will make them a better person. I think the reason why I've decided to do this as well is because of my daughter. I fully appreciate now how amazing kind of like my life is, that I get to choose when I work. When I get to choose when I work, you know, I can work around her. When she goes to bed, I can work. You know, there's not many jobs out there or professions that you can earn money while your child is sleeping in bed upstairs. The other reason why I decided to do the 1,000 people challenge as well is because there's a lot of BS in our industry. I mean, don't be fooled thinking that the leaders or the so-called leaders or the gurus in our industry are genuine and all they want to do is help you. I mean, I've been on countless training courses and webinars and downloaded freebies just to see what's out there. And a lot of what people show you is just one piece of the jigsaw puzzle. You know, I always say to people now that having an online business is like having one of those baked bean puzzles, you know, those annoying ones where you can't really put all the pieces together unless you've spent a lot of work putting in the groundwork. And that's what it's like. You have to know what those components are and then put the jigsaw puzzle together. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing two things. So the two things I'm focusing on for the next 12 months are, number one, helping 1,000 people with whatever they need. And I'll give you an update on how I'm doing on that in a moment. And then the second thing is putting together some training that I've labeled the Roadmap to Success. And it's all about looking at those key components that you need in your business to make it successful. And I'm going to put some training together around the different parts so you can start bringing that jigsaw puzzle together. That's what I want. And so an update on the 1,000 people challenge. I started last Monday, and the amount of people that I spoke to about the 1,000 person challenge, they had a look of shock in their face. I told one of my buddies who's recently asked me to go onto radio to talk about it. He was shocked. He was just like, well, how are you going to do that? And I explained to him that sometimes I can speak to, you know, lots and lots of people daily, and I help people as a matter of course anyway. So I wanted to put a figure on it to really stretch what I do and how I help people. So he was shocked. So I think when people are shocked at your dreams and your passions, you're on the right path, I think. If you set a goal that anybody could achieve, then I don't think that's gonna not impress people, because it's not even about impressing people or doing it for myself. It's about giving back the information that I've learned. You know, I've been grateful that I've come across people and information, and I've worked hard to make sure that I'm where I am today, and I want to pass that on. You know, I feel like it's my duty to pass on what I've learned to other people to help them escape maybe that job they don't like, spend more time with their kids, or maybe just have a bit of extra money so they can go on holiday or something. You know, I think generally people think that having money and having fun are bad things, but they're not, as long as you use it in the right way. So 1,000 people challenge. Okay, so that started on Monday, and I set myself, I mean, it works out around 3 people every day to help. So that's probably about 84 people in a month. And I counted it. I didn't include people that I help anyway. So, you know, like my teammates, I've got a VIP group where I share training and content and actions that I've personally put together. I haven't included any of those because I just think, you know, those are the type of people I help anyway. These are extra people who have dropped onto my webinar, have dropped onto my page, or have asked questions. And my target was 83, and I actually helped 112 people at least. So in a week, I'd already smashed my monthly target. So obviously I am over the moon. So I'm looking to you now I want to help you. You know, if you're sat there and you're struggling with anything, you've got a burning question that you want to ask me, then I want you to come forward and I want you to ask me. I never mention names on Facebook unless people are happy for me to share their feedback. So, you know, I'll ask them, oh, that's, you know, when people say nice things about you, it's always nice to share that so other people can see what value you can offer them as well. I never share names of people unless they say, yeah, share. Because I want to protect you guys. I want you to be the people that are getting the results. I don't want people to look to me and say, well, she got them the results. Does that make sense? So I would never mention your name. I would never put it on social media unless I get your specific authorization. I just want to make that point because I know a lot of people don't bother to. So like I said, I'm looking to you. If you need any help, please come and ask me because I can probably help you. Like I said, I'm also putting some training together called the Roadmap to Success, and I'm going to be sharing some weekly webinars. My webinars usually run on a Thursday at 8 p.m. So I'm going to put some training together over the coming 12 months for everyone that everyone can attend and enjoy and get results from. So that was me. I hope you've enjoyed my story. I hope you've enjoyed my journey. You know, my journey is still continuing. I don't feel I'll ever be at the place where I'm like, woo, I made it. I think if you celebrate success already, then you're probably not going to be growing yourself. So always think, you know, what's next? So thank you for listening. I hope you found it useful and I hope to see you soon. Bye.